golden rings.
I will never forget the screams. They were so loud, so full of pain, that they echoed through the whole neighborhood. I stood there, frozen, watching Aisha bang on the gate of that big house, tears running down her face. She kept screaming his name, begging him to open the door. But he never did. Aisha was one of the most beautiful girls in our area. Everyone knew her. She had long hair, a perfect smile, and she walked like a queen. She could have any man she wanted, but she only had eyes for men with money. And that's how she met Daniel. Daniel was rich, and he loved to show it. He drove around in his fancy cars, wearing designer clothes, and throwing money around like it was nothing. When he met Aisha, he promised her the world. She fell for him quickly, charmed by his gifts and sweet words. They started dating, and soon Aisha was living in his big house in East Legon, wearing expensive clothes and carrying the latest iPhone. She thought she had found her prince. But Daniel was not what he seemed. He had a dark side. Aisha thought he was just a businessman, but I heard rumors about him. People said he was involved in illegal activities, and he had dangerous friends. I tried to warn Aisha, but she wouldn't listen. She said I was just jealous. Then, one night, it happened. Aisha came home late, crying. Daniel had hit her. She said it was just a small argument, that it wouldn't happen again. But it did. It kept happening. Every time she made a mistake, every time she spoke out of line, he would hit her. Sometimes he would lock her in the room for hours, leaving her with no food or water. She was trapped. She had left everything for Daniel, and now she had nowhere to go. She couldn't go back to her old life. She was ashamed, embarrassed. So she stayed, hoping that things would get better, that he would change. But things only got worse. One day, I got a call from Aisha. She was hysterical, crying on the phone. She said Daniel had beaten her so badly that she couldn't move. She asked me to come and help her. I rushed to the house, but when I got there, the gate was locked. I could hear her crying inside, banging on the gate, screaming for help. But there was nothing I could do. I called the police, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Daniel had already left, and Aisha was gone. We found her body later that night, dumped in an alleyway. She was barely recognizable. The police never found Daniel. He disappeared, leaving no trace. Aisha's death shook us all. It was a wake-up call, a reminder that not everything that glitters is gold. Love is not about money, and money can't buy happiness. Aisha thought she had found love in Daniel's wealth, but it cost her everything, even her life. And now, every time I hear someone talk about love and money, I think of Aisha and the screams that still haunt my dreams.